Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is my video about the Solarpunk biodome or Solarpunk Valley level that I built. And first I want to talk a bit about what Solarpunk actually is. So what I took from the Solarpunk Reddit is the definition: Solarpunk is an aesthetic and literary genre that has grown out of existing social movements. Fundamentally, Solarpunk is about imagining possible good futures and working to create them. Just as the Earth is made up of different biomes, there is no one definite Solarpunk future. And there's a bit more to the definition, but this is what I'm going with for this level. The level is a bit a mix about science fiction elements like drones, and as you may have seen, the tube train, and elements like this that are in the spirit of regrowing or reusable energies or reusable energy sources, as well as regrowing resources. And for this level I looked a lot into different Solarpunk pictures, into the aesthetic, but also into science fiction ideas. And yeah, right now, as you can see, I'm working on the base level shape. I quickly had the idea to make some kind of valley with a sea in the middle, and yeah, I'm playing around a bit with the terrain shaping tools that are existing in Yahaha at the time, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, I've built around different ideas of renewable energy sources and sustainable ecological ideas. So the first thing we will see in a bit is a solar panel that has the shape of a flower, which is both symbolical for the idea of being one with nature, and as well as just for the shape and beauty. So this is it. This is the flower that I set up, and I will show you a bit of the setup after you've seen the whole thing open up again. Yeah, setting this up was quite interesting. The base wasn't there much a problem, but what was really interesting was to set up the actual opening panels. As you can see, I'm working with a triangle here as a base, and first I looked into having this open up with a rotating controller with a rotating component, and in the end this didn't work as well as I imagined, so I added an empty box to each of these unfolding panels, and I gave the box the rotation, and this is all linked to the base. So whenever I step on the base of this whole thing, then the whole thing is going up and unfolding. Yeah, as you can see, I've playtested this quite a lot, and at the point where I was happy with how it unfolded, I simply copy pasted the blades or the flower petals that will open up. Also, as you can see, I've later changed the color and the texture of these panels, so as long as you work, or when in Yahaha, when you work with the brought in assets, you can color and retexture them as you like in the means of what Yahaha gives you as textures. Yeah, and this is the whole setup. The most time-consuming part was actually setting up each petal to the base of this whole object. But once I done that, I could easily just resize the whole thing. Next thing is the greenhouse. First, I'm going to show you the playable part of it. As you can see, when you repair the valve or the pipes to it, the little trees start sprouting. So solar energy, as well as these greenhouses, or are a big part of the whole Solarpunk aesthetic and genre. Yeah, solar energy is one of the renewable energy sources we have in abundance, and I think we should exploit this a lot more. Greenhouses and plants around living facilities or close to them are a usual theme, and you will find it in a lot of pictures and artworks to the whole thing. And yeah, I went with the greenhouse because it fit the style, it fit the theme, and it really matched my whole idea of what I was going to do here. And why is it broken? Why you can repair it? That's simply so that the player of this level has something to do, or has something to contribute to the whole level. So it's not just a place to check out and look at, but it's also a place where you can interact and see that you as an individual matter in this whole thing. So not everyone can build a giant greenhouse, but everyone can have some plants around and have them on his windowsill for the bees to get some flowers, get some nectar, and make some honey. So this is a part of this idea that everyone can contribute to this possible future. And to be honest, a Solarpunk future would something I would very much love to see come to fruition. The whole area is a bit set up as a remote area, and how you get there we will come to in a bit, but I can also tell you right now that public transit or mass public transit is another topic that is prevalent in the whole Solarpunk utopia. So Solarpunk, unlike Cyberpunk, is more like a utopian feel. Yeah, that's it for the greenhouse so far. This is just the base build. This whole setup of everything inside I haven't shown you. Another thing that is really interesting to me is the use of drones and manual labor. In this case, I thought of a little harvester drone that is flying around and tending to these fields. As you can see, it has a pattern that it flies around on the field, and the field will turn green, which is also an interesting symbolic. Another thing that I looked into is the ambience, and this is the tube train, I called it. I didn't have a real train to use, but this was nevertheless an interesting thing, and we will see it again in the outro. Setting this up was really interesting, not only from the build, but also from setting up the movement for the train, having it loop around the map so that it, if you watch it long enough, you will see it come around again. And I'm just playing around with the setup there so that I have this tube around the whole map. And also, first the start point was somewhere on the side of the map, so you had like a clear path to walk through, but I felt like it would be really interesting to just start somewhere in the middle, and I decided that I would let the players start at this tube train station. So if you play the level in Yahaha, you can download the app in the App Store, see if it runs, and then just look for the level. Then you will start at the station, which I will also set up in a bit. Yeah, first I set up the tube and the massive giant holes for this. They were a bit of tricky, so I had to see that they actually are inside the that they are not hovering in the water, but they are in the ground. And then I set up the actual station, which is really simple. You will notice that there's no thing like a ticket vending machine or something, because in this utopian idea you actually don't need to. The idea is that tickets are free, that mass transit or that transit, public transit especially, is a free thing, that everyone can use it. And in this spirit, there is really just the platform where you enter and exit the train. And I know this is really high up. This is just my idea of it. And I'm a person who likes open and free spaces, so this is why we are outdoors. So this is why this is a big valley. This is why the station is so high up in the air. Because this is what I would enjoy. Yeah, next up I set up the elevator, and yeah, as someone mentioned, I could have set up a sliding door so nobody falls off, but I'm still hoping for people not to just walk off a ledge when they see one, but instead wait for the elevator to show up. Yeah, this is the tube train station, and this is also my whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the idea or the vision of Solarpunk that I have. Thanks for watching, and see you guys around.